All right. So, welcome back, everyone. We are now getting ready to get going. So, when we last left, basically, you guys had entered um, this lovely dwarven city, uh, Dolkarak, and you had found out that they're a little bit different than other dwarves. They've been isolated for very, very long time. And with that, they have some interesting quirks and some interesting kind of belief systems. And they are not completely unreasonable, but they're very bound by their like tradition and their code. So, one of your staunch allies, Brith Moonax, brought up the fact that they were having an issue. They had lost a mine. Um, they believe it is like an ancient foe that the dwarves had beat back millennia ago that might have escaped, and that if you guys were to theoretically take care of that, they might be honor bound to assist you in some way, shape, or form. So that was kind of the running theory. Um, Brett,
So are they just like, yeah, it's probably this great devourer guy, or is there some further inclination for them to like leap to that conclusion?
so they've noticed in town that occasionally some people are acting strange and odd and not like themselves, and that's very unusual for dwarves who are very kind of set in their ways and their mindsets and their traditions, especially here. And they were acting kind of out of character, and that was basically the symptom that had happened in the past. Like
Mm.
the great old texts basically talk about dwarves not acting like themselves, not acting of character, not acting like dwarves, and it was kind of like a madness that started sweeping through the dwarven cities, and it was caused by this creature, this creature of darkness and evil. And the texts are not very specific on that.
Hey,
And
they really need some better bookkeeping here.
when you carve everything with a chisel, it takes a long time to write. So, you got to be succinct. You got to get to the point. Um,
Maybe they just need more beer.
it's possible.
Or less.
That's the answer to everything, Tazo.
So they are definitely concerned about this, but they also have a lot of other concerns. So they haven't sent anyone to kind of deal with this situation, but was one of their main like minds. Then you also found out, like about a day into you guys' rest, before you're heading out, that the mine shaft that basically was leading from the city the to the mine, or basically the tunnel that was leading there, has been collapsed, and that you would have to, in essence, find a way around.
Now, does anyone know a way around is the question.
Not specifically, but they will say there's always a way around when you're in a mountain, even if we have to dig our way there.
Ah.
So
Well, then the surveyors and the map makers and the etc. And we'll pull up some plans and while we're recovering from our journey and taking in the sights, try to come up with a path forward, right?
Mhm.
It's their house. Point us at the bad guys. Let's smash.
How many days are we staying? Because we need to get going if we want to save
the
Hagurtha.
yeah,
Not more than one or two.
the theory was
Yeah.
2 days that you guys would be staying. Um, so before you leave, the Forge Father is definitely he'll return all your equipment after he goes over it. But he definitely will have a conversation with Horus. So
Aha.
he basically studies you up one side and down the other. He also figures out a way to whatchamacallit, like there's basically like a rune on your back that he like pops and like hits it, and like he's able to like remove your plates in essence off your armor, like to kind of pull them off. So
That's good to know.
so you're you're actually able to get your helmet off for the first time in forever. It's a lovely smell. And but you are kind of grafted to your chainmail. Like that.
Ah, that's fun.
Mm-hmm. And when you come out, like you've got this like kind of brushy beard and things like that because you haven't been able to shave, and your hair is like longer. And he will sit you down and like he's like, we're going to have a conversation.
That doesn't sound particularly good.
Um, it depends on how you look at it.
Uh,
You would want to have a seat though.
uh, yeah, I guess I'll take a seat wherever, like, where? Yeah, I guess I'll take a seat.
It's like, I just thought you should know that Horace Sherwood is dead.
Excuse me?
He's like, Horace Sherwood is dead. His soul has moved on to the afterlife. He's no longer with us.
Are you saying I'm a corpse?
No, that's not exactly what I'm saying. Horace Sherwood, according, and I'm going to assume you told him your background and things like that. Is that
Yeah.
a reasonable assumption?
Yeah.
It's like Horace died when apparently the mold went into his body and he perished. From what I can understand, the Forge Father, the Forger of Souls, created a new soul and slammed it into that body. That soul, having no memories or anything else, latched onto Horace's identity because that was the brain that was in there. He's like, I don't think you're done yet. You're like the cooling blade. The Forge Father is forging you into something. And right now, you're a blade in a mold.
So I'm not the original owner of this body,
No,
and
that person has moved on.
that's a lot to take in.
That's why I told you to sit down.
So, what do you mean by I'm not finished being forged?
I don't know exactly myself. I've never seen anything like you. But I can tell by the nature of your existence, by the runes that are on your body, that this project isn't done.
And do you know what will happen when it is done?
You'll have
What
to
happens to me?
you'll have to trust in Mordain.
Ah, that's a revelation.
I assume he wouldn't have put you here unless he had plans.
Same here. It's just
No one
a
has to
lot.
no one has to know about this. You can go on being Horace Sherwood. What what is said in this room is between you and I. You don't have to tell anyone. You can continue on and do that, but I just wanted to let you know who you really were.
Ah, thank you for that. Uh, that is a lot to lay on someone.
So, the one thing you do notice while you're like touring the forge is it is what's called a master forge. Um, it is literally powered. Um, they have trapped a whatchamacallit, a Djinn, not a Djinn, an Efreet. They have captured an Efreet, and the Efreet is fueling the flames of that forge. And so they have this Efreet bound, chained in there, basically just, constantly radiating this giant amounts of fire and heat and rage. And it is a sight to be seen. And it's what allows them to get the temperatures so high that they can forge some of these more special metals and things like that. With a standard forge, you really couldn't forge adamantite or things like of that nature. So this is how they do it. So you also know that anything you were to construct at the Master Forge would take about half the amount of time that it would take to construct anywhere else.
So, so if I could convince them to allow me to forge on this, I could, in theory, forge Solaris really quickly and stuff.
Really quickly is a I would say comparably quickly would be
Yeah.
the thing. Yes. This is like
That is also a revelation.
this is a very holy spot for Mordain and his wife, actually, too. This is it's a dual church.
Ah. That I honestly don't know what to say after that revelation.
Okay, you can do with it as you see fit.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna tell anyone that hey, I'm technically not the soul that you guys know.
Well, there you
I
go.
mean, we've been all in all pretty accepting, so you can't go wrong.
Yeah, but I feel like something is gonna happen in the future that's just gonna it it's just gonna force it upon everyone, and I want that to happen without any of our characters knowing except for Horace.
Horace is the guy in the zombie movies who gets bit and doesn't tell anybody.
Pretty much.
That's a rough comparison. Like that's a rough one for Horace. Like, yeah, I'm talking. He's not endangering anyone with this information. It's it's more akin to me of like finding out you're double jointed and you don't tell
Yeah.
anyone. Like it's a personal matter. If they want to reveal their double jointedness, they can. So, all right. So it's the start of the May 22nd. It's early in the morning, 7 o'clock, and basically, Brith tells you to kind of meet down by the far tunnel, um, roughly where like you would normally head over into the mine, and as you guys are arriving, you're hearing like the clanks and the cracks basically of like hammer on stone and pick on stone, and you see kind of a dwarven semi work crew that's there, and they're chiseling their way into the ground.
I mean, should we be like stocking up on rope and pythons and hammer and things like that? I defer to my dwarfy colleagues. This is all rather new to me.
I have 50 feet, which I don't think is enough.
So you see, Brith is there, and he basically has a large, as we described last time, Slayer dwarf next to him, who is just kind of standing there with his head down. He's kind of just wearing like loose robe, not even a robe. He's basically just wearing like almost like a kilt. And you have 5 other dwarves basically that are there that are like tinking away basically at the ground. And then as you guys are walking up, like there's kind of a sharp crack, and you hear like rocks tumble. And I'm like, yeah. Like a couple of guys are like, yeah, and they're all like shaking their head, like, good job. And as you guys walk up, Brith will kind of like look up and like, so we were able to break into the cavern below. Theoretically, it'll link up with the cavern system down there. If we can find one that can take us over to the other side, we'll be good.
Did you work today?
Well, this is your home. We defer to your expertise in all these matters and seek to support you and your people in your quest.
Like, well, he's like, I do appreciate that. He's like, remember though, this is your endeavor because we're assisting you.
Wink.
Yeah,
In
wink.
this endeavor. And he'll introduce everyone, so you kind of get the run of it. And basically, Brit's there. The other 5 dwarves are part of his band. He's got a band of a group basically that are the Axe Brotherhood. So they're dwarven warriors, and then he'll like motion over to Grum, and like that's Grum, and Grum doesn't even look up. He's like, but, we can head down into the cave system and hopefully we can find a route, and then we go from there. But, it's not easy. This is like traveling into the wilderness on the surface level. We're kind of going in blind, and we don't know exactly where we're going, and we're hoping that we can find a way to where we want to be.
Okay then.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay?
Oh, before we go, since I have my head lantern, Vance, you don't mind if I give Brith my sun amulet, do you?
It's a gift given freely to you, of course, Oris.
Yeah, I'm gonna give Brith my sun amulet, just that he has something like us that he can just pull out and light up his way.
Okay, he will. He'll say, "I appreciate this. Thank you." He's like, "It'll be most useful." He's like, "Anyone want to go first?"
Well, friends, if we're to share our beer and spill our blood together, I think introductions all around. Most of us know each other, with the Axe Brotherhood here excluded, of course, but Arnie, Vance, Thon and Thorin, Horace. So it's kind of back and forth, make sure everyone knows each other.
Yeah, everyone gives kind of like the subtle waves.
Didn't we meet Deegan Brightquarry before in
okay.
Stonehell?
I used all the same dwarves from Stonehell because I didn't want to
Oh,
recreate
okay.
the wheel. But these are not the same dwarves.
No. I was going to say, like, my boys! No!
These are not the same dwarves, but I just used their sheets because it was way easier than to make 5 new ones.
Very good eye.
So
It's hard to tell behind the beard sometimes, I'm not going to lie.
this was beard sickle. So they're like, yeah, anyone want to head down?
I mean,
Let's go.
yeah.
I'm going to just take like a drink
and goes, takes the drinks. He goes, "Okay, let's go." And I
Okay.
just start walking forward.
All right. So everyone's gonna have to like, in essence, rappel down. So Deegan will basically like throw a rope down, and he's like, "Yep, it's about 30 feet. So get your climbing on."
That's all.
Okay. He's like,
Yeah, let's go. Let's do this.
okay. So everyone on their climb down, go ahead and roll a d6. You don't
Oh dear.
want to roll a 6.
Ooh, I
Okay.
didn't. I
Okay.
did not pass through it.
Before I fall to my death here, I don't suppose the dwarves are willing to share any like special climbing knots or anything that us taller types might need to be aware of.
The rope's already knotted off and everything. Like the dwarves have done everything. That's why it's only a 6 will cause you to have some issues.
Famous last words. Whew!
So, all right. So everyone's able to descend pretty much and have no problem. So you end up in a cave. All right. Let me get over to the map. Where's the map? Oh, there it is. So this is the map. So you are in this first cave. The Roman numeral actually represents kind of how big it is, not necessarily like the number of the cave. So you might see multiple 4s in there. So if you're taking notes or anything like that, like the 4 is not. It's based on how big. That's not a number per se. So as you guys come into the cave, you'll start seeing like all around you is like the rib cage of some giant creature, and all throughout this like cavern, and the cavern's probably about the size of a 4-bedroom like apartment, 4-bedroom apartment or a house. So you're looking at a reasonable size house, probably 3,000 square feet, maybe a little less, kind of home. And it's a big cave, and carved into the bone is all sorts of stuff. It like kind of like scrimshaw basically into all this bone, and you start recognizing, you know, some dwarven writing in there. You recognize some elven script. You start recognizing some gnomes, and you start, you know, it's a lot of stuff like, you know, Fiblet was here and stuff like that. But then you also, like, the deeper you're going in, like, the stuff starts getting weirder, and like you've never seen anything like this. And then all of a sudden it starts looking like maybe that it was just like scratch marks that were put in, but they were put in purposefully. And then like some of it looks like it's just dashes and dots with like that have been like turned upside down, and like they're going in variable patterns. So it's really weird kind of stuff the farther and deeper that you kind of are going into this cave. You'll even
Is
see
it
like
So
from like old empires of the past. Like, you know, like there'll be some writing and things like that.
that rib cage. Did any of the dwarves we were with know anything about that thing?
Like, no, there's other ways to get in. We knew that this cavern was here and it had been closed up. That's why we broke in. But they call this the Hall of Scrimshaw Madness, because some people have come down here and started trying to, you know, interpret exactly what is going on, and to kind of figure out what some of these markings mean, and it kind of drove them to the break.
Vance will begin putting his circlet of read languages back in his bag.
Yeah. Hey, I know a lot about going mad. That happened to me once.
Or did it?
Or did it? And that's kind of the big thing. So it's got this like large, like scrimshaw, like I said, carvings and things like that, and it really starts getting to be strange at some point with like the different kind of writings and stuff like that. It starts feeling a little unnerving.
Well, friends, if we're still in territory known to you, then lead on. Which way should we go from here to descend?
They point basically in what's kind of a south but kind of a down direction at the same time, because when you're working with caves, you're working really almost with like a D6. It's almost six-sided. So they're kind of pointing like down that way. He's like it's a tunnel, a shunt, whatchamacallit, a chimney. That's exactly what they say. It's a chimney.
Oh no.
Also,
Well,
are we supposed to see anything besides the 4?
Nope, that's it.
Alright.
Are there any particular dangers we should be aware of? Clearly your people sealed this up for a reason.
Lots of things could wander up from here. There's untold horrors down here.
That's my point. You tell us.
Just like, well, they're untold, obviously.
Right, so just tell me, and then they can be told horrors instead. No? Am I the only... Alright. It's a cultural thing.
It definitely is a culture thing. So, let's see. Where is my thingy? Alright, so as you guys are walking, what's your walking order? That's going to be important as well.
I'm assuming I'm up front.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be up front
Well, where are we putting Brith, Grum, and like the other dwarves?
Yeah, let's throw them in the front for meat shields.
No! God, no!
I would imagine that if a few of the Axe Brotherhood would take up the rear.
If you look at the active characters, is that a good order?
Yeah, they don't have much health.
I would suggest that perhaps Brith and Grum would be north of our esteemed casters.
Okay.
And in fact, if there was like a dwarf, I imagine a dwarf coating around a soft, fancy center.
Does that look better?
To me, yes.
Okay. Oh, another thing, Arnie, are you invisible or not? Like, what's your deal?
I believe that I was not invisible when we came up to the.
That's dealer's choice for you there, Eric. I can, like, if we're gonna be there 2 days, I can re-up you.
All right, yeah, I'm invisible. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So.
Oh yeah, with us being there for 2 days, could I have healed everyone like almost back to full?
Yeah, everyone should be at full. I figured
Okay.
with the amount of time you had, everyone go back to full. So you're starting fresh, so you might need it.
I think I'm gonna be in the middle somewhere.
Okay. That I'm talking. You're pretty much directly in the middle at this point.
All right.
So I'm gonna assume that this is the order that happens. Okay.
I don't. Am I supposed to see like tokens or?
We're looking in the handouts section on the right where it's got like the notes. He's got us ordered in like the way that we're walking, basically.
Yeah. If you look under SH characters active, that's the order that I'm assuming you're in.
All right.
Oh. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the way. All right. Thorin, Roll a d6 for me. Dun, dun, dun.
This is not gonna end well.
Tasso, are you there? Can you roll a d6?
D6.
Yes, please. Oh, was that you that just rolled? I don't know. I didn't hear.
Yeah.
I didn't hear a whoop. All right. So,
Ooh.
okay, then that's it. All right.
Please tell me low is good.
So I need Thorin, Thondon, Brith, Grum, Arnie, and Vance to all roll a saving throw. Versus paralyzation.
Any wisdom modifier or anything?
No wisdom modifier. You're not part of that group. You're right on the edge of that group.
Oh, I'm controlling Grum though.
Oh yeah.
No threshold modifier either, right?
Nope. Look at all these successes.
Who's controlling breath?
I'll roll him. I got it already.
You got it?
Yeah, look at that.
All right. So you guys are walking across, and
Ruh-roh.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
oh dear.
the ground starts to like crack and crumble, and you see like Brith look over, and he's like, "Sinkhole!" And like and he basically like tackles all of you like forward, and Grum basically like jumps backwards, and pulls you back, Vance. And kind of like in the middle of the two parties, kind of separating it, about a 30-foot hole like rumbles and like falls in, probably about, when you got shine light, I'm talking, it's about a 20-30 foot deep kind of hole that just all of a sudden like shoosh, like collapses in the middle. The big thing is your party is now separated, so no one got hurt, but you've got Thorin, Thondon, and Brith basically on one side, and Grum and the rest of you on the other.
I think I have the solution to this. Possibly.
Okay.
I have a lot of rope, and I have a grappling hook.
Okay.
If I throw the grappling hook to the other side, and we both like secure some rope, could we just like basically make a rope bridge across?
Well, how long is this sinkhole?
It's probably, I don't know, 10, 15 feet apart.
Would a 10-foot pole reach the other side or no?
It would. Walking across a 10-foot pole would be very difficult.
Well, how many do we have? It'd
Especially
be like 8 together
I'm
strong.
I'm a big fan of the Arnie elevator. I don't know if
That could
about
be.
you guys.
Oh yeah, Arnie elevator.
Well, Arnie can't carry people when he does that. He can only carry a normal allotment of goods. He can't carry a person while levitated. So
Oh, that's unfortunate.
But he could balance someone while they move across, correct?
do you have?
Like a rope.
Oh yeah, he can't see you, Arnie, so he doesn't know you have a pole. So he's just like, he's like, we got.
So it's like 30 foot deep, 15 foot across.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's roughly what you're looking at. I'd say it's more closer to 20 foot deep.
And the entire edges have collapsed sheer with the wall. There's no way to edge across or lean up against it or anything like that.
There's probably a tiny edge, so if people want to try to like navigate that tiny edge, they can, but it might not be secure.
We're not under a time constraint that's so narrow that we can't just climb down it across and up. So if we can shine a light down there, which we should be able to with our various accoutrements, and make sure that there's not like spikes or acid breathing bats or spikes that also breathe bats, then we should. I mean, we just climb down, walk across, climb up, right?
Yeah, you can definitely do that. It's just going to take time. That's the big thing.
You guys good with taking time?
Just set somebody to watch on both sides to make sure we don't get ambushed. And carefully, right?
Mm-hmm. I got a bunch of climbing equipment, so we can use that.
All right. So with a little bit of time, it'd probably take you about a half hour, basically, to kind of safely get everyone down, lower everyone with ropes. Then they kind of like gently they get one of the axe brothers will go first, and he's got a pole arm, and he's like poking in front of him to see if like the floor is going to cave out even more, and like he's tapping on the front, tapping on the front, tapping on the front, and he keeps moving forward, and then eventually he's like, it seems like it's pretty secure. He's like, I would only go one at a time though, one at a time.
Once we've navigated it successfully, do you guys think it would be worth it to use some of our rope and like a python and have Arnie like float up to the ceiling and jack the rope into it, and then we can have an Indiana Jones style like rope swing if we got to get across fast
That's
to retreat?
gonna be a whole lot of rolls.
Okay, never mind. I'm just throwing ideas out there.
I mean, like, if we have to get across that fast, that's gonna be a whole lot of rolls. And I don't think a lot of us are Indiana Jones.
Okay, well, it's an aspirational. All right, I withdraw my my plan.
So it takes about a half hour, and everyone's able to kind of finally get onto the other side, and they're like, all right, let's keep moving forward, and you guys start like continuing to move. You eventually get to a hole that's in the ground. The hole is probably maybe 4 feet wide, and he's like, this is the chimney. So he's like, it goes down very far. He's like, after that, we're kind of in no man's land. He's like, not a lot of people want to venture out this far.
We brought enough rope to get down, didn't we?
It's so tight that even you're not going to need rope to get down it. In fact,
alright.
people that are in plate mail cannot get in it.
Wait, what?
It's so small of a crack that people in plate mail cannot get in it.
But we can bring our plate mail down, right?
In theory, but carrying plate mail will weigh you down. Like, there's a difference between wearing plate mail and carrying it.
I really wish that the forge keeper didn't tell me I could get out of my plate.
Okay, he didn't tell you that. You can stay in this room.
Guys, are we getting our plate to go down?
I guess we have to, right?
Dwarves can't even go down in their plate?
Nope. It's the plate mail doesn't. When chainmail, you can breathe basically with it. You know, like it can will wrap around surfaces and things like that. Hard plates do not do that. I don't think you realize how claustrophobic this is. Like, it's a 4-foot hole that like gets down probably to like a foot and a half wide as you go down.
Okay.
I'm taking mine off and carrying it in.
Yeah, I'll take mine off and try to stuff it into my oversized bag.
Okay.
Actually, am I even able to reach the rune?
No.
Like, do I have to have someone else do it for me?
You have to have someone else do it for you.
Yeah.
Or get like a back scratcher. It's like you just gotta plunk.
So, taking off your armor takes about 20 minutes to kind of get it all off and to stow it.
I would say in the meantime, so is the shaft straight down? Is it at enough of an angle or wavy that you could like climb it if you were able to get into it?
You can
Are there handholds?
You can climb it when you get into it. They say like it's going to move all around. So sometimes gravity's going to be working with you. Sometimes it's going to be working against you.
I just don't like any one-way trip down here.
Yeah.
It's definitely only you can get back up it if that's what you're asking. Yeah, you could theoretically climb back up it. That's
all I'm looking for.
Yes,
Hope,
but
however small.
They said that the trip is probably going to take about 30 minutes to get through the crevasse.
I'm getting claustrophobic in real life thinking about this. So
I'm just worrying about giant insects, like always.
So
well, I wasn't before you said that. Now I am.
funny you should mention that. No. So, do you guys want to go down in the order? That means that Oakenshield, you'd be leading the way.
Yeah.
All right. So everyone's going to have to roll as they're kind of moving through this surface. So I want everyone to roll a d6. Now here's the base. The baseline is 3. I'm sorry, 4. Everyone with a 1 to 4 is success. All right. If you're carrying plate mail, it's 1 less. So if you're carrying
1
plate,
to 3.
1 to 3. If you're a dwarf, it's 1 more. Because the caverns are, you're naturally a climbing kind of species going through caves. If you had a gnome here, it would also be for gnomes too.
I will be 1 through 4. Okay.
1 through 4.
What if we have climbing equipment?
I'll give you a +1 for climbing equipment. If you have climbing equipment, I'll give you a +1.
Thank God. Because I am the only one in the party with climbing equipment.
Just
What do you think?
Well, hold on. Everyone's rolling.
Oh.
Tasso hit it in the very beginning, so I need to do this. Tasso, roll a d20 for me.
Didn't he get a 1? Weren't we supposed to go for 1 through 4?
Oh yeah, you were supposed to go 1 through. I'm sorry. I'm dumb. That was me being dumb. All right, so Tasso made it, and then Chris made it. Eric made it. Gage made it. Billy made it. And
Do we have to roll for the other, like Grum and them?
Grum is fine. I'm gonna roll for the 5 dudes.
Oh yeah, they're coming down behind us. Oh dear.
Yes, they are.
Oh no.
Someone roll a
Oh no.
Someone roll a d20 for me. I don't care who. One
I
of them.
got it.
beat you.
Oh, okay.
So it's the good kind of D20. I got good vibes coming off that. Looks good to me.
I don't.
Hey, it's in the middle, so that's a good thing.
All right, so everyone's climbing down, and everyone kind of makes it into this next room. Let me do reveal. It takes about 40 minutes. It's a little longer because the plate mail people, like, dragging it through takes quite some time to do that. And there are times where you think you might have to abandon your gear. But you manage to, like, pull, and you hear the scraping against your armor. And, like, when you pull your armor out and you're down below and you're taking a look, it's got scratches and stuff all over. It's superficial damage, but your armor does not look good. So it's really roughed up.
Hey, that means it's doing its job.
It is doing its job. So
No Taylor Queen's here.
Are you saying my amazing forge plate has scratches on it?
It does. All armor gets scratches and dents. Otherwise, you don't need blacksmiths and weaponsmiths and armorsmiths.
Yeah.
So you head down, and you end up in another cave system.
Oh, I get how this is working. Okay.
So, well, if you
Okay.
look, it's the way the symbol works is the cave has a top and a bottom. That's the two lines, the one on the top and the one on the bottom. And then the four
Uh-huh.
sides are north, south, east, west. So the cave, this one had the dotted line is a chimney. So it had a chimney because it was coming out the bottom, and the chimney led to the top of this number 2. So you get to the very end, and you're going to have to rappel into the room to get into it. You're kind of like at a little holding area, basically like a little tiny like sub chamber, antechamber before you would get into the main cavern.
Do you guys have rope down there, or do I need to pass it down?
I got rope.
Alright.
All right, so since you're leading the way, Thorin, like you start shining your light, and you're shining light down there, and the room kind of smells of death. So
Before I jump in, could I see like the floor?
can you see the what? I'm sorry.
Could I see the floor, like the floor? If there's anything on the floors?
Yeah, the floor is probably only about 15 feet down. You can almost jump it. I'm talking you can almost, but it's probably not the safest thing to do. It's probably better to take a rope down.
Okay.
And so you start lowering yourself into the room. I'm not going to make y'all roll for this one, but you start lowering yourself into the room. You're the first one to go down. So there's like, it looks like the rock here has been scarred. Like something hurt the rock. All right? There's like hate filled marks all over the place. And deep, deep black gouges into the wall.
Okay. So I do want to check the markings out as everyone else comes in,
Mm-hmm.
just to get
Real
some
quick,
sense of like.
let me note this. So, 2 people have to mark off ropes because you have to leave rope so you can get out of ceilings. If you
Yeah.
don't, you won't be able to get back out, in theory, unless you come up with a better plan. So, if you're leaving your rope here, you don't have your 50-foot rope, and someone had to have left a rope in the very beginning. So,
I'll mark mine off.
that's 1.
I wanna throw this out here before we get caught in a gotcha moment. That's what I was asking about when we were rolling up on the dwarves to begin with. Like, have the dwarves brought rope? Should we go get more rope before we go down this hole?
I will say that
Like,
each of the brotherhoods, not Brith or Grum, but each of them has one thing of 50-foot rope.
So for that sinkhole, could I just cross off like 2 20-foot ropes?
The sinkhole you don't need anything for. You could have kept that rope. That you
Oh,
wouldn't need to.
what rope did we need to get rid of that to start?
When you ascended into the first cave or descended into the first cave.
Oh.
so why don't we have one of the dwarven brotherhood mark off a rope?
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're at 4 of 5 dwarf ropes.
4 of 5 dwarf ropes.
I have some silk rope on me, and
Well-
some somewhat frayed rope.
Could we cut the rope? Because it's only 15 feet down, or like.
You could theoretically
'cause
cut
then we
rope.
can-
So
That yeah.
as you guys are like all ascending down or descending down into the room, the you guys start seeing the same thing I was describing before. The walls look like they've been scarred, and they look like someone has taken their fingers and like stabbed them into the walls and ripped, and with hatred and malice, as like what they were doing. Like someone was in pain here, and the floor is almost smooth. It's almost smoothly flat, like someone did it purposely, but it looks like it's been pounded or hammered flat. Um, and there's been some sort of, I don't know, like just crushing strength that's basically like hit the ground, and the room just has like I said, these black scars all over its when you kind of like light it up with the gray stone walls.
Hey, Brith, you know anything about
No,
this?
he says no, I don't.
But when everyone else is like climbing down, I do want to go up and kind of like see, is there anything like
So the cave overall is relatively small. Think of like maybe a really large classroom, like one of the lab rooms, like a really large like classroom with like labs and like the desks and everything like that, or
Hmm.
something like that, like a big classroom. Um, and there's a bunch of flattened portions of it. And as you're kind of walking around, shining your necklace light, Oakenshield, you come across like what looks to be like a pile of ash. And as you come near it, like just your body motion has a little bit of like wind gust to it, and it blows a little bit of the ash, and you see like a skeleton form there that's been kind of like that's in the ground.
does the skeleton thing has like a weapon or anything?
No, it's a skeleton, um, but it's rather large. Like if it was it's humanoid, but it's probably somewhere around like 10 feet tall, 10 or 11 feet. It's kind of like almost half fetal positioned, but it has these kind of like ash um, uh, like coverings, basically. Like ash kind of like fell on top of it, but the ash kind of extends out from it too, like and in like two cardinal directions. Like if you're looking at it like as north, south, east, west, west and east have these kind of like ash um, piles that basically extend out from it.
Oh, that,
I
uh,
with kind of my, I do want to say like hello question mark.
Hello, hello, hello. You hear in like the cave.
I'm going to say the same thing in Dwarf.
Aye, 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 aye.
Nothing from the skeleton.
You don't hear anything? No.
I kind of, I do want to examine it, but from like without really touching it
Okay.
and see if there's some type of reaction.
What exactly are you doing? I'm talking. I've given you the information you'd get from examination without touching.
Okay. Then then I'm just going to like put trying to like poke it and trying to like see if it's sleeping, and it like
So
see if
you kind of poke the skeleton. It doesn't move, but as you kind of poke around, you see that it actually has bones that kind of where a human wouldn't have bones. Like underneath those piles of ash are bones.
would I know like where the bones or will like belong to?
It looks like it belongs to that skeleton.
Okay.
It looks like it has extra bones.
Friends, as interesting as the archaeology is here, we may want to simply continue on and not dwell too long in these ossuaries.
There's one thing I do want to check. On the skeleton's like just whole body, is there like bones that missing perhaps?
No. So as you kind of like you're poking around and stuff like that, you start getting like a little bit more of an idea, and the bones seem to go into its back and converge into its back, and the bones look like the bones that you would see in a bird, like in their wings.
Yeah, it's probably a winged being.
Friends, while my academic curiosity is certainly piqued,
Are
my
there
water.
any bite marks on the bones?
No. It looks like the thing just laid down and died.
So
Yeah.
there's no bite marks, no.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
No, I just have a question, Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
You said that it like something took its finger and just ripped chunks out of the walls, right?
It looks like someone drove its hand into the wall. There's like finger holes, like you would see on like a, like a bowling ball or something, and there's like tear marks and stuff like that. It looks like something literally just like ripped the wall out, not with a tool, but with its bare hands.
Uh, uh. Yeah, I'm assuming it's this creature right here, and I'd rather not stay to see if it comes back to life.
I'm just saying, guys, we're 2 for 2 on caves right now that are bones and mind madness. So,
The skull
Don't-
doesn't have any horns, right, Ryan?
I'm sorry.
The skull doesn't have any horns, right?
No, it doesn't. It looks like I said, just looks like a very tall human, like something like.
Don't forget, I do have the undead sword.
Yeah, but still. Uh, you guys want to just like see where the exits are here?
I'm in my mind, man.
Actually,
Yeah.
that kind of wants me to do something. I do want to take my sword and kind of just touch it with the bones.
Okay, you. It goes.
Any
Clack,
reactions?
it goes clack clack like if you touched a sword to bone.
Okay. So it's not a skeleton,
Mm-mm.
like a undead skeleton.
It is
So
not.
we can go.
Okay.
So, where are the exits?
So
Here?
so you're walking along, and basically there's 3 different exits that you can take. There is a there's one that's in essence going east, there's one that's in essence going west, and there's one that's going down. Now the east and the west, they just look like pathways that you could probably walk down. The one that goes down though is really tight. It's not a chimney, but you'd have to squeeze through it, and you would have to you know really get in there. It would be another thing that would be, like I said, time consuming to kind of get through completely. Oh,
And which way? Oh, yeah.
real quick, going off to the east, the tunnel, it looks like it's got a mine car and like a little mine track. And the cart is like rounded over with like some gold and silver coins.
Uh, which way are we supposed to be headed based on like Brith and the other dwarves?
They're like any of these caves could lead to anywhere. We don't know. This is exploration.
Well, you guys want to head towards gold, I guess?
Well, it certainly merits taking a look at. If there's something portable in there of worth rather than giant mounds of coin, then we might want to pocket one or two things.
Yeah.
Cover our costs.
So as you get closer, you see that it basically it's got a couple gems in it. It's got a couple gold pieces in it. It's got some silver in it. It's just like a smorgasbord of things, and it's on like a push cart, like in Indiana Jones 2, like one of those like little rail carts.
Well, if we can identify floating on the top there any super valuable gems or anything, I think maybe getting out the old tongs there, Horace, giving them a couple clicks to make sure they work, and then fishing out a giant ruby or two. Can't hurt.
Yeah. That able to be done, Ryan, without like setting off what is most likely a trap?
So tell me exactly what you're doing. So that, and then we'll go from there.
Well, is there something obviously more valuable on the top without digging through anything?
Sure. There's we're gonna say a thumb size like sapphire.
Can I take my wait, guys? This might be a mimic.
Could be. Better poke it really hard.
Can I take my my tongs for like forging
Mm-hmm.
and like carefully grab the ruby and grab the sapphire and try to lift it up?
Sure, if you want to. Is that what you're gonna do?
Sure, why not?
Okay, so you go and you take your tongs and you stick it on the ruby, and you start trying to pull it, and it's not really coming. It's like it's stuck.
Hey guys, I'm not sure that's supposed to happen.
I'll give you a hand if you need it.
You know what? I'm just gonna like pull my tongs back off and just give the cart a little bit of a kick in the side of it.
Okay.
Just
So you kick the side of the cart, and your foot sticks to the side of the cart. And
oh god,
and the things like a pseudopod basically out of the cart comes and goes to punch you in the face really hard as it starts to envelop you.
Nice.
I knew it was a mimic.
Then I wouldn't have touched it. That would be my thing. I wouldn't have touched it if you definitely thought it was a mimic.
That's why the tongs. But I mean, how's that getting enveloped by an acid pseudopod working out for you?
So go ahead and roll to see. And remember, you're wearing chainmail. You're not wearing plate.
What's chainmail again?
It's
5.
Base AC is 5, so it's 2 less than whatever your plate mail is. Roll a d20 to see if you get hit. You're definitely trapped, but see if you get hit with the pseudopod.
Ow!
So that's not good.
Oh.
So the thing just kind of like starts to envelop you quite a bit. So you take 12 points of damage as it starts like burning into you, like, and it's like
guys,
chomping.
Guys,
I'm going to take.
guys.
I'm going to take my crossbow and fire at the thing.
Okay. you can definitely do that. Go ahead and take a shot. Everyone can take a turn now. So basically, it got its kind of like. Actually, no. We'll do this. Roll Oak and Shield. Roll initiative, and it's going to roll initiative to see if it gets one more attack in before y'all start attacking it.
Please.
Ooh.
Thank you, Tasso!
Okay. All right. So Tasso, you can go ahead.
I definitely did not toss out that.
Go ahead and roll
You
two
just saved
hits.
my life.
Will it be plus
we hope.
1 on threshold modifier?
It is
What?
because you're in short range.
Please tell me it has lower than a 4 and higher.
Hold on 1 second. I have the book, and I keep. This will make it so it doesn't go away. I keep having problems. It should hit, I'm pretty sure. So, yeah. Yeah, that definitely hits. Okay, you do 3 points of damage to it. Thondon, what are you doing?
I guess I will attack it with my hammer.
Okay. Go ahead and roll up on it. Give me an attack.
Yeah, I got it. Oops. Uh-oh. Wait a minute. My axe is gone.
Uh-oh.
Did you take my axe, Ryan?
I did not take your axe.
That is bizarre.
Let me see.
I had an issue with character sheets in another game last week where, like...
I see your Dwarven axe +1. I'm looking at it.
Yeah,
Oh,
I found it.
Uh,
Don't worry, I missed it. Don't worry about it.
aw.
Yeah, that definitely that will miss. All right. The next in line, I'm just gonna go down, is Brith. So Chris, if you want to, Brith will step up with his big old axe, and he will take a chomp out of it.
Okay, cool.
Please, God, save me.
Oh yeah, he
Oh,
is.
thank God.
So it's gotten 15 so far. So all right, it's still there. And Grum will.
Does
come
anything
back.
happen? Does anything happen to his weapon, his axe?
No, nothing seems. It seems okay.
All right.
Grum can go up.
Yeah. Grum attacks with both of them, right?
Yeah, but make sure you hit one and then the other. Because I modified one for the
Yeah.
first attack and second attack. That
Oh.
hits.
That I'm not rolling too well today.
No, you're not. So
Curse of the deeps. It's upon us.
it is.
It's upon me.
All right. And Arnie, what are you doing?
Not attacking. I feel like the
Okay, you're just gonna let it go. Vance,
the
you doing
invisible
anything?
is better.
I feel like fire is always a good solution. So I'm gonna yoke little the old fire pot at the thing.
Okay.
Please don't burn me.
Yeah. I'm not gonna burn you. Since it seems to be, there's all these other dudes like up on it. Vance is gonna get like real close within close range and just kind of, alley-oop it real light over the dwarves' heads. So as close as he can get to just kind of drop it on top of the thing on fire.
Okay. I'll give you the
So-
close range +1. And its AC is almost as bad as it can get. So you have a very
Hope I
strong.
don't kill everyone. Look at that.
Am I
So-
burning, Ryan?
You're not burning. So basically, Vance, you like throw it onto the thing, and the pseudopod comes up and like dink 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 and knocks it off.
It's intelligent.
Horace, if you want to make an attack, you can.
Oh yeah, I'm attacking Gore Skull
Okay,
with everything I have.
it's not a humanoid. That's for damn sure.
It's the best melee weapon I have.
Okay.
No threshold modifiers, right?
Nope.
Please. Oh!
Nice.
That will hit. All right. It's still there though. It's still
Is it?
doing.
It's still grabbing onto me.
Oh yeah.
No.
Oh, and it's pissed too. All right.
Oh no.
So go ahead and roll another save, Horace, as it's grappled onto you, and it's like it's basically trying to bludgeon you over the head while biting you with its big pseudopod arm.
What you mean? Just a D20?
Yeah, roll a d20. Roll like
Your armor.
your armor.
Vulcan, please, Moradin, protect me.
Nope,
That's not protecting me.
that is not. So you will take that many. You take 7.
So Ryan,
Yep.
what happens when I get to exactly 0?
Exactly 0.
Exactly 0.
You're unconscious, basically.
I'm unconscious.
There you go. You're not having to
Off
roll.
to a strong start.
You're not having to roll in the chart yet. So
I just got a revelation, and now I'm dying.
yep, that's the way.
Those things go hand in hand sometimes.
You know, it's one of those things. All right.
You mean dying again?
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
New round. Thondon, go ahead and roll a d6 for initiative for me. I got a 4.
Come on, Vulcan. Third soul's the charm.
D6. Did it come through?
I don't think so. Some of the stuff's just taking forever and a day.
Well, I rolled it again just in case it didn't go through.
There we go.
So,
No.
Oh no.
So it will. So it starts dragging Horace along the ground, and it's headed to like an opening that's probably a foot, maybe a foot and a half wide. And it's going to try to like slurp its way down in there. So basically, y'all have one round to prevent it from like dragging. It's not going to get all of Horace, but it'll get half of Horace down there.
It's going to rip me in half.
Yeah, it doesn't care if it gets half a meal. That's better than no meal. And you're pretty big, so that's probably a whole meal to it. It's just half of you. It just would have probably thrown away the other half.
Guys.
Brian, I don't want to hijack too much here, but how about those other 5 dwarves? How they do on stabbing it?
I'm going to say that they don't because there's 6 of you around it. There's probably no way that they could get any more people around that thing to stab it.
Fair enough.
I think that
I'm going to take my sword and swing it at it.
Okay.
Do I get any modifiers?
No modifiers. It just has a crap AC. Its AC 7. So that's it.
Oh.
Bad.
That'll do. All right, so boom, you crack it, and the thing like falls apart basically, like, and like turns into like a gel on the ground, and like just kind of like seeps into some of the cracks. And everyone takes like a big sigh of relief.
That was a mimic, right?
That was a mimic.
That was
Yeah.
definitely a mimic.
I know that the 2 dwarves Thorn and Thana each had a Cure Light Wounds potion. Do
I
you
have
guys
a
still
potion of
those?
extra healing. I have a potion of extra healing.
Then we can fish around in Horace's pockets and pour the thing down his gullet, hoping to revive him.
Okay. So he gets, what, 3d6 plus 3?
Yeah, you want me to roll that, Ryan?
There we go. I'll let you roll it.
Wow.
I'll let you roll it.
There you go.
Oh yeah,
There you
that's.
go, kid.
So, plus,
I'm back up to full.
alright.
Your life flashed before our eyes. Tragically, it wasn't very long. It was only like, what, 7-8 sessions worth.
It feels like every single session I'm getting downed one way or another.
Remember the one time? Well, I think I got knocked out like 3 times in one session.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that was hilarious. So how do we move on from that?
Carefully. Are you
If
alright?
if a mimic downed one of us?
With Beal.
Let's perhaps not be so hasty to kick things that frustrate us next time.
Uh,
Ice
Listen,
cold.
I didn't think that it would grab onto my leg. I thought it would grab onto chainmail that's grafted onto me. That I see the problem with that thought.
Alright, so you spend about 20 minutes going to the east. And you come to another, like, corridor, or another cave. This cave is interesting. It's pretty large. Like this is about the size of a standard house. Actually, no, it's a little bigger than that. It's probably about the size of a standard apartment building. Is what you're looking at, and it curves around. It's kind of like in a saxophone-y shape. So where you're at right now, you can see some of the cave, but not all of the cave because it curves around towards the other side. And there's little bits of water all over, like little pools of water, and the surface of all the rocks here has like tiny little pinpricks in it. It looks like there's just like little tiny pinpricks all over.
Any obvious acid spray, or so there's pools of water, and then the entire surface of everything is like mottled with little pinpricks of eaten away material.
Yeah, and there's tiny little like fish that are like in some of the pools. Some of them are a little too big and they're flopping around. You don't. I'm talking if it was acidic, the fish would probably be burning.
Yeah, I think it's just like some creature has extreme water capabilities and has been wearing away the rocks.
I'm not seeing any. Is there an egress from this chamber, or just the way we came in?
Well, you
We followed around.
You gotta start like doing your exploration basically of
Okay.
the cavern. As you're heading around, the hold on, let me update my thing because that took there, so we're gonna be right at.
Oh, our lights, if it's the size of an apartment building, our lights don't reach to the ceiling.
Yeah,
They're a 30-foot radius, right?
30 foot. They do give dim light up to 60, so you barely see kind of some of the top and bottom of this thing. But as you start going around that kind of saxophone shaped thing, you start hearing like, oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. And and then you start hearing like "Hutaha! Whoa! Whoa!
Uh,
Whoa!"
Friends, there is no circumstance under which I would like to meet the locals here. I'd suggest we move back.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Whoa! Now you're kind of taking a look around and things like that. You haven't found an exit yet, so the exit might be farther down where this noise is coming from.
I don't suppose there's torchlight flickering on the walls as they march around the corner toward us.
No, there is not, but there is definitely light coming from around the corner. It's a dark purplish light.
Can I peek my head around? As like that stealthy mode.
If you want to go and take
See
a
what-
look, sure.
Yeah.
Or perhaps our invisible superhero flying man.
I was
Not
thinking,
to.
I was thinking more of that, but that was just me.
Yeah.
Not
Hey,
trying
Ryan,
to throw poor Arnie under the bus here, but
Yeah,
Ryan,
I heard.
before we sorry.
Go ahead.
Before we get too far, I kind of wanted to talk about like the spells I have. Can I switch one of my Cure Light wounds for Detect Evil? Just
I should go under standard right now, but I will allow it. Anything
Thank you.
to prevent you from getting another cure. Why not? So, Arnie, are you gonna go, or what are we doing here?
Yeah, Arnie can sneakily and move silently to peer around the corner.
All right, let me roll for your move silent here. All right. So you start moving around the corner, Arnie, and what appears to be a very thrown together, rudimentary kind of church, if you could call it that. There's basically a bunch of like just places, people standing, and there's like an altar that's been put up on kind of a rock. And the on the altar, you notice a humanoid shape like that's been like splayed out on the altar, and it looks like it's been like gutted. And the humanoid shape has the face of with like a squid, and it's got pale limbs, and it's wearing like a robe. Around it are a bunch of what can only be described as fish people, and the fish people basically like you see the one on front of the altar, and it's got all sorts of colorful beads, and it's got a staff and like a really wicked curved knife, and it's like making some sort of speech, and they're like doing all the fish people are on their knees, and they're like bowing up and down. Whoa, whoa, and there's this wicked purple fire that's basically there, and that's what's kind of lighting up everything, and everything's got kind of a sinister glow to it.
Can I go back and relay that information to the group?
If you want to, sure.
Here, I'd actually like to look around and see if there's anything cool looking that isn't being watched very carefully.
How close are you willing to get?
5 feet.
Oh, okay. So you're willing to get really close. So you're willing to like be able to reach out and touch someone. Okay. You can definitely do a pickpockets roll if you want to. That's your thief.
Is there anything noticeable that I could
I'm gonna say that there is a giant pearl, like probably a pearl the size of like half a baseball, and it's up beside the altar.
All right, what do I roll to pickpocket?
You have that there's under your skills, there's something that says thief skills. That's all your thief skills. Go ahead and roll that. Just hit the button.
There it is.
Okay. What is it? Billy, do me a thing. Roll an intelligence check for me.
Billy's intelligence is lower than Vance's, and he thinks this is all a terrible idea.
Now,
I got it though.
You guys are kind of standing there waiting for Arnie and everything, and you're like looking around and you notice the water is now maybe halfway up your foot on the ground.
Ah,
Oh.
friends, whatever is happening here, we may want to beat that hasty retreat I was talking about.
Whoa.
Arnie, so Arnie is a rat. We don't know where Arnie is. He has disappeared around the corner and is not to be seen, I imagine.
So right as you go to like grab it, Arnie, the high priest goes to grab it as well, and like he grabs your hand because like your hand's on it right at the exact same moment. It was just really poor luck and timing, basically, on what happened. So he steps back like kind of startled, and he starts like, "Ah!" and he's like yelling and things like that, and then like all of them stand up.
Am I visible now?
No, you're still invisible, but everyone feels this. The cave starts rumbling.
Bro.
Yeah, I would like to maybe grab it and leave, I guess.
Okay, so he's got in his hands. He's going to be pulling back
okay.
and
He
forth
has-
with you. You can try to
He has-
outstrength him to get it. You are beefy. You're more of a mugger than a thief. So
Yeah.
you can
Might as well. We went this far, huh?
Okay.
I don't even know what to pull out.
Roll a strength check. I'm going to roll one for the fish person. Whoever gets higher without going over. So.
Oh
okay.
gosh.
I'm
Arnie's
good.
not doing anything today.
Arnie.
D&D
Arnie,
God-
no.
Fish priest is going to have a 9 strength for the purposes of this.
Arnie, no.
Strongest fish man of them all. It's the suction cups that do it.
Actually, well, the fishman
No, I
lost.
won.
It's the
I won.
highest without going over your strength. So fish guy rolled a 1. That's the
Oh,
worst thing he
nice.
could roll. It was a
Oh.
success, but it wasn't as good a success as Arnie's.
I get it.
Yeah.
I'm stupid.
So basically,
Ah.
like he's pulling and pulling back, and he's like you just yank it, and he falls onto his fish butt, and like he's like sitting there on the ground. And as he falls on his fish butt, you see like the ground open up, and this giant purple worm like erupts from the ground, and it starts like devouring that guy, and like it starts devouring the sacrifices, and it's starting to devour like all of the fish people that are there.
Yeah, Arnie's
Arnie-
gonna run.
Arnie, you just caused a genocide. How do you feel?
That's two now. 2 in a week.
You're not. So there's a bunch of thrashing and things that are going about. There's fish people running around like crazy. What I want you to do is roll a saving throw versus paralyzation, and I just want to see what you get as you're trying to make it back.
3.
So that's a fail.
Oh, man.
Batting 1,000 a night, man.
Heck yeah.
So you take
Arnie's
6
special.
points of damage as like
That's not bad.
you run into a couple things. You actually get slightly stabbed as one of the ones is like They seem to be in revelry, actually. They're being eaten, but it's like this was their purpose. They're like, ah! And they're like, some of them, like, right as the thing's coming to eat them, they, like, stab their hearts and stuff like that. Like, this seems to be their goal. So it definitely wasn't a pesticide, as I see, but it was it was definitely, like, something that they were going for. And then after about 30, 40 seconds, they're all dead and the thing moves on. Arnie, roll a d20.
There you go.
There you go, sir. All right. That pearl right there is worth
Sure.
roughly 2,000
Oh no!
2,000 gold pieces.
Great success.
Wow.
There we go.
You,
So
2,000.
3,000.
you said 2,000 and 20,000.
2,000. It's not 20,000. That's
3,000.
a little too
Okay,
much.
that's what. Okay,
was-
that's what.
It was a d20 times 10, so or times 100. Yeah.
Nice. All right, got it marked down.
So there's two directions you can go. There's another chimney going down, and then there's a hole in the ceiling that you could theoretically go up.
So Arnie returns. We're able to kind of survey the madness. The water
Yeah.
isn't coming in anymore. We're not going to be drowned or anything.
Oh, the water's coming up, so it's going to like your shins at this point.
Could I go over to the is the tentacle face creature still there?
No, it got eaten.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was definitely a mind flayer, right?
I don't know.
Where did the big purple worm come from? Up below? From the ceiling?
It came from kind of below and then like ate them and then retreated back down, a la Shai Hulud.
But it did not come from the hole that we're going in, right?
No, it did not.
Yeah.
Just rapidly
Also-
going to fill with water if we try to go down.
Yeah, that hole that we got to go into, is that filling with water or is that already full of water?
It's not full of water, so it's a chimney.
Will it be full of water?
You don't know.
Further question: did we go downhill on number 2 here?
No, it just went west or east. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Because it didn't go out of the bottom; it went out of the west side. So you gotta. It's hard to represent 3 dimensions in 2-dimensional space.
Right. I mean, like downhill an entire level. I mean, downhill at all.
Maybe a little bit.
Okay.
The dwarves are. You got enough dwarves here, so yeah. There's a slight curvature downhill.
I'm just concerned about the flow of water generally here. There is also a way down over on this one, remember, guys? So if we're going to go down, the water down one seems to me like I'm not feeling great about that at all.
I think we shouldn't drown. That's just my opinion. I don't want to drown.
All right, real quick, we're gonna take like 5 because I have to use the restroom real quick. So we'll take 5. We'll be back by 9:25. Real quick. All right.
And for
Right.
BRB.
So that was an interesting. I knew it was a mimic, and I still kicked it.
So yeah, are we gonna put this thing on the group loot or?
Yeah, we put it in the group loot already. So yeah, we're definitely going back to 2 to go down, right?
You didn't want to go up? I guess.
No, we're going down, right?
Is this water gonna stay in? Or is this water just gonna flood this whole place?
Unknown, which is why we're not going down right here because if we go down right there, there's a chance that the water could flood in behind us and drown us all.
Yeah,
Which
if
is
there's an
why we're
entrance,
going down right there.
if there's an entrance down, then the water will go down there eventually.
Eventually. But this this is downhill and this is uphill. So we don't have to worry about it going up to 2. We just I'd just rather not get your air dwarvens all soggy.
Yeah, you're right. I can't mess up my shoes, man. We could go over west and see what's over there. We don't have to go down yet.
Yeah, but we're already taking a lot of damage.
Eh, you're full health, right?
Yeah, after taking 19 damage exactly.
Yeah, but I have 20 HP left, so I'm still good. And I don't think anybody else got hit.
So, where do you guys want to go? West or south? Like west or down?
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Alright.
I wanted to go west though before we go down anymore.
Yeah.
Just to see so we didn't have to use any more materials. But yeah. BRB.
What did I miss?
Bathroom break.
We didn't start after that. Okay.
Huh?
I left during the bathroom break. You guys were talking about stuff.
Which way we're going? Are we going west or down from 2?
I feel like the big bad is always going to be deeper.
Yeah. Eric wanted to go west just to like finish exploring this area before we go down.
That's fine. It's fine. It's if it's
I'm
another one of these
partial.
chimney things.
I'm partial to going down. Basically, it's up to the rest of you guys.
Might actually be to our benefit to buy a little bit of time and like pad it out and go west to see what happens with this water. If it recedes again, that tells us something. If it keeps coming up, then regardless of which down we go, then that's going to be a problem. So like waiting a little bit and going to explore and do something else while we find out what happens with the water situation might be a good idea.
Well, if it keeps coming up, I think it'll just fill up the down in 3. And if it doesn't connect to the down in 2, then we should be fine.
Yeah.
Well, I'm pretty sure as a dwarf, we can figure it out which way it's coming from.
Yeah, they said that like this number 2 moves slightly uphill, but that's a good point, Gage. That it'll drown out the hole in 3 before it comes up and fills the rest of 2. I don't think it's a bad idea to poke our heads down this way before we go down the hole over here.
Yeah, that was my idea.
You know, just could happen upon another mimic, maybe a house hunter this time. You know, nothing too bad.
We won't boot it to the face.
Oh, we're definitely gonna boot it to the face.
All right. So, what's the decision? Where are we going?
Whack.
Oh, west.
All right. So you want to go back west and then west again?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're gonna head back and let me roll.
I'm ready for more Arnie Conan style adventures where he punches the fish guy in the face and like escapes with the
Steals-
treasure unscathed.
Yeah, steals his ball. My ball now.
And he's just a playground bully.
Yeah.
And your mom's a nerd, fish face.
Okay. Fun. All right. So you head back and you get to this cavern B. It's number 2 right there. So, and as you go back, so the you see you hear actually, I guess before you see, you hear someone murmuring like, "Yeah, I gotta get going. Yeah, I've got so many unfinished things to do. I've got to come and I've got to get things done." And then like you hear that talking coming towards you, and it's coming towards you rapidly, like running. Yeah, I've got to.
Arnie would like to float up to the ceiling.
Okay, you float up.
Go advance.
What would the rest of you like to do?
I'm going to like put my back against the wall
It's
to
a
let
pretty
him pass.
it's a pretty cramped environment, so it'd be difficult for someone to squeeze past you.
Okay. Then
Which
Well,
is
we
like
can retreat back to this other room and kind of confront him in the open, whoever it is.
so you're like going down that hallway there, and like, do you guys decide to back up or are you going forward?
let's
Yeah, let's
back
just
up.
go forward. Why not? Let's just meet him head on.
Okay,
Boot.
so you see
Me and Tim.
you see a dude
Sorry.
like coming towards you, and he's almost like looking through you. And he's not wearing a shirt. He's basically wearing like kind of a loincloth. He's got a big long beard. His teeth are he's missing 2/3 of them, and the ones that are there are not very good. And his fingernails are long and dirty. He's all grungy, and he's just like, I gotta go. And he's like, he gets up to you and he can't get past you. And he's like, you got to get out of my way. I've got unfinished duties to do.
You just missed him.
No, I've got unfinished duties to do. Someone speaks from the darkness, and I can't see because they are not there, but they are there, and I don't know. He starts like hitting your chest. I'm talking. You're wearing armor, so his closed fist isn't really doing anything. But he's like, "You must move."
You guys just want to let him pass?
I'm gonna let him pass me. If
Yeah.
I
In
can.
this like kind of a space, there's not much way for him to pass you. You would have to back out.
I just yell and the people behind me, move back.
It's fine.
Okay, so everyone goes back.
But, well, Master, what duties are you performing?
I
Can we
want-
help?
Yeah.
I do want
Silence is
Uh,
appreciated.
as I'm walking back, I'm facing him.
You speak with forked tongues. You don't understand what I understand because I see what it is. You are but puppets, and I am a puppet master.
Can I just shoot him with my cross launcher and we keep walking?
No, it's up to you.
Don't do that.
Fine. We can walk back.
Turns out we were the monsters the whole time.
I mean, it's just we're being stopped by a spindly old man who is clearly insane.
So you
So
guys,
we need to get him mental health and group care, not murder him.
Hey, the crazy ones always get things done.
he's like, yes. He's like, forward. Forward is the way. That is the way to the places that come. That is the way to the way that we need to go.
And
I
where
like
is-
this guy. Let's try to get him into our crew.
so who's we?
We are the ever-present we, the royal we.
She may have said it when repeating things other people told her.
Who's the Who's the world? I'm kind of new to the area.
God.
If you're new, then I can't speak to you because new is bad, but old is good.
I'm the old new.
He like looks at you puzzled. You speak with a forked tongue. You are a liar. You are small and meager and beneath me. Bow to me, mortal. Bow to me. You don't know my powers.
But I want to learn.
So when you guys make it back to room the D, it's about up to your waist.
We don't
Uh,
see D. I see
dwarves.
2, 3, and
It'd
4.
be 3.
Oh, I'm sorry, the 3. Sorry, D.
Why is he so? We encountered this guy in the tunnel for 2.
Right.
Okay, not all right. I misunderstood.
Yeah, when you were
Mhm.
almost to B, or almost to 2,
That's why I said we keep
you
going.
backed all the way out. It took a while, and he basically is there, and you guys are kind of up to your waist now in water.
What about the dwarves? What are they up to?
Yeah, they're up to dwarven waist in water. Maybe they're
Oh.
up to mid chest. So he's like,
So,
Let the guy go, and we'll soldier on then, I guess.
he
Yeah.
looks
so
at you.
the
He looks as like you guys are all there, and he hisses. He's like, and then he dives into the water, and like you don't see him again.
And I hope to keep it that way. Let's get out of
oh,
here.
this place is gonna drive me mad.
So what do you say to us so far? We gotta remember that. Write that down, somebody.
It's
What's-
insane. Did he have anything on him besides the
He seemed
besides?
he was a mostly naked man with a beard.
That's all.
Yep.
Tasso, you let us get stopped and pushed back by a mostly naked man with a beard.
Well, really, all the dwarves are mostly naked men with beards when they're not wearing their armor.
It wasn't a dwarf. It was a human.
Yeah,
Right,
it was.
but I'm saying
It
that
was
at the
just,
end of the day,
it was
aren't we
just a
all
spindly
mostly
man
beards?
with nothing on, and you let us get pushed back.
Do you want to stop him?
Or show a little charity. You're a man of the cloth. Let's soldier onward and not dwell on it.
So this guy
Fine.
didn't come up for oxygen, so I'm not necessarily sure if he's a man. And he hissed at us.
Fish monster with a beard, man with a beard. Who can tell these days?
Who can tell? It's just a wacky place. All right. So you guys are gonna move on. So
For a ineffable cavern system deep beneath the mountain, there are sure a lot of interesting characters down here.
Yeah, I have a question. How are we getting airflow down here? Like,
if I had my memes, it would be the one that says magic.
ah,
it doesn't. This is
Plot.
This is fantasy.
plot
world.
armor. Exactly.
I
Fantasy
don't like
world.
this at all, though. This is different. Different is bad.
Exclamation point.
Oh no.
Different.
So you travel down that road or the pathway, and it takes about a half hour for you to kind of get to the clearing of the next kind of entrance. And when you come in, it's gargantuan. The cave is just gigantic. It's probably about the size of that dwarven city. Like that big of a cavern is what you're looking at. And all over it are these kind of unusual almost they're like flowers, but they're made of gypsum. So they're like these beautiful bright stones that kind of almost bloom in these like elemental kind of ways. They have these chemical kind of shades and looks to them. Um, there's kind of a lovely arsenic yellow and a cerulean blue and a heart blood red. But all these kind of like almost flowers and like there's just unexpected color that's like everywhere you shine your light. There is just this beautiful array of um, colors and things, but you can tell that this cave is just like enormous.
Uh, hey, Br- Brith, you know anything, like, anything that this could be?
It's rock formations. It's beautiful, but such is the ways of the world underneath.
Uh,
So Brit wouldn't be too upset if I took some of these flowers.
You can do whatever you want with it.
Yeah.
Are they?
guys, I feel dragon. Dragon?
Mm, are the flowers cultivated? Like they're obviously in groups or in
No.
rows?
No, they're not. The flower is kind of a metaphor. So
They're gems.
Yeah, they're like gems.
the,
Like
it's
quartz?
like the rock is blossoming. So it's a very floral
Flower
look.
shapes. I gotcha.
Yes, it's a very floral look, but it's not necessarily flowers. So
Yeah.
the rock appears to be very floral.
I gotcha.
And it's all these different shades and hues and things like that. But it is wild growth. I'm talking if you saw this on the surface and it was flowers, this would be wild growth. It doesn't look cultivated.
Yeah, could Arnie grab some of those, like maybe hit him with the hammer and get some of the crystals?
Sure. Roll a
Oh.
d6 for me.
Oh no.
Okay.
In the middle. Let's go.
So you reach down and you grab some of them. You take 1 point of damage as you slice your hand open.
Very sharp.
Yes, it's like obsidian. Like it's got that like really sharp edge to it when you like smashed it. So it's got a you weren't expecting that.
Nice. Okay. How many was I able to get?
You've got like 5 shards, is what I would say.
5 shards of sharp glass. Sharp rock. Should I call it just like crystals? Or...
You can call it whatever you want to call it.
Guys, should we explore or I feel like we should go back, but like
I feel like a cave this size is likely to have adjoining cave systems of similar quality. You don't get a big hole in the earth like this without chain caves or other. I mean, it's not just a big vacuum for no reason. If it is, then there's something here worth looking for. Take a poke around.
okay.
I'm just saying that if there's anywhere is likely to have a wider path for us to follow, it's the big cave, not the tiny one.
That is true.
Yeah.
So as you're wandering, you don't really have much of anything to go on. You're just kind of like wandering through this. You see that there's like, it's a cave within a cave, but like this is kind of like an indent. Like this is this gargantuan kind of cave, and there's a tinier cave that something might live in, and outside of it, you see what appears to be a corpse. Not that fresh, but it's some weird monstrosity. It's I'm not even gonna BS y'all. It's a beholder corpse. I don't know. Does everyone know what a beholder is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The,
I think
guys.
Eric, do you know what a beholder is?
I do not. I'll just look it up.
Okay, it's basically. Have you ever seen Big Trouble in Little China?
Yeah. All right.
Uh.
Sweet. I got it. Yeah.
That thing. It's kind of like that thing, except they're really dangerous. They're not just like lookouts. They're like super dangerous. But yes, so you see like a big sphere that, and the eye stalks have all been like cut off of it, and the central eye has been removed. But it's like this dead corpse, and it's in front of this like kind of large cave.
Guys, I'm getting a bad feeling.
Well, I mean, we're one of two options here, right? Either there's something really good in that cave that hates beholders and kills them, or there's something even worse than a beholder in that cave and kills beholders. I'm
I
calling
have
it
a
50-50.
I have a strong feeling it's 70-30 in the case of evil versus not evil.
If I've learned anything from Reddit 50-50, it's usually the worst one.
Yeah. Uh,
So let's go kill it.
I hate that.
Against that option.
You have a good point. Uh, can we examine the beholder corpse first?
Yeah,
now,
do beholders have
imagine-
anything cool on them?
Can we-
imagine how much gold there is.
Yeah, can we examine the beholder corpse first for like how it got killed?
Yeah, it looks like it was stabbed, and there's even an arrow shaft sticking out of it.
That's not.
Oh, that's that. Maybe this is the beholder's lair, and other people killed it. What type of arrow is it? Like, can we pull it out and see like the type of craftsmanship that it has?
It is trash.
So it's not dwarvish. Nice.
It is not dwarvish, and it doesn't look like one of what we would call the civilized races.
Oh.
Oh,
Now, if a piece of shitty arrow can kill a beholder, I think we can kill what was inside there with these better quality weapons.
I'm with Oak Shield on this one.
fine, fine.
Vance smokes what may be his last cigarette.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it the puff puff cigarette? Like, is it the good cigarette?
Why
Well,
would you use that?
Well,
You start heading into the cave. As soon as you start breaching into the cave, there's no like furniture or anything there, but you do notice like there is just a ton of corpses, like a ton, like so many corpses that are in there. They are solely kobolds and trolls. Some have
Well,
been burned. Some look like they've stabbed each other. Some of them look like some places there's just piles of ash.
Guys, this is a dragon.
no, we found what attacked the beholder. So
This is a dragon.
is Brian, is this a battlefield or is this an Insano massacre blood orgy?
So it looks like there was a fight between. I'm talking. The lair doesn't look like it's the lair of kobolds and trolls. There would be like furniture and stuff. So
Right.
you can probably piece together. This is probably the beholder's lair, and probably just a shit ton of kobolds and trolls, because it would take a shit ton of kobolds and trolls to take a beholder out.
yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Uh,
I feel like it ran outside before it died. The
mm,
beholder.
Oh, they dragged it out to butcher it.
Yeah.
It's been butchered because all the eye stalks are removed and the central
okay.
eye is removed.
Yeah, if they needed it for like alchemical or magical components or something like that.
so there's no loot left over in here, I'm guessing, right?
You can go explore it if you want, but this is
Yeah.
basically what like is in the front room. It looks like it's a pretty big complex though.
Guys, if we find a baby beholder, I'm keeping it.
There's no such thing,
What? Wait, what? Why?
because beholders don't reproduce like that.
Yeah, they're
How do they
horrors
reproduce?
from beyond space and time.
Ah.
Knock it down real quick. All right, yeah, I do want to check and like look through the the battle to see if there's anything valuable.
No, let's
Face only a mother could love.
Well, we're only in the front room of the lair, so.
Generally, what is it? What is it? Kobolds. I mean, generally, beholders do have treasure in their lair. So,
let if we find a beholder, let's befriend it.
Well, they are intelligent as well, so
they're intelligent, but they're
are
malevolent.
if there is right. I mean that if there may be hidden stuff or things that are beyond the ken of kobold kind. So it, if we are going to risk it, then there may actually be benefit.
So,
Ryan, I'm gonna kick up detect magic.
Okay.
And see if I can get the old.
There's faint traces of magic coming off the beholder.
As in, it's a crazy, evil, magical creature and is still warm with magic blood.
Pretty much.
Okay, well, forward into the layer then.
Okay. So, how long do you guys want to explore this layer? That will determine what you might be able to get out of it.
Well, I can give it 20 minutes of detect magic. So if we can give it a quick circuit while I've got the detecto up, that'll help spot anything of super value, I would imagine.
Let's
So
do
let's go 30 minutes. Then 20 minutes of the detect magic and 10 of not.
Yeah.
So if you spend 30 minutes doing it, you will find 3 trinkets that basically were probably dropped as someone was carrying out other shit. One of the trinkets radiates a minor magical aura.
What is that magical trinket?
They're just a series. They're what is it? 2 bracelets and 1 necklace. The necklace is the thing that has a slight magical aura to it.
Can I get a school of magic, if such a thing is?
It would be abjuration.
Go ahead and if I can. So once my detect magic runs out, and they're going to keep poking around for another 10 minutes, I'll see if I can examine the necklace and determine its provenance.
Okay, it's provenance.
Is that actually how you say it?
Yeah, I watched. I never knew what that movie was or that word was until I watched a special on this guy who did art forgeries, and they were always talking about provenance.
See, I've only ever seen it written. I've never heard it said.
Right.
But clearly, Vance is looking for provinces and not provenance. So
he was unable to determine.
Yeah, no dice on that one.
So you generally know that abjuration magic is generally beneficial, but it is protection magic, so it could be theoretically to protect the item from someone tampering with it.
Protection from half orcs, you never know.
We'll still get you.
So you guys have spent a half hour here so far. Do you want to continue or do you want to move on?
I'm up for wherever the group decides. If I can get another gore skull, I definitely wouldn't mind it.
Do you want to continue? We haven't had a problem. We've actually had full benefit to search more.
You guys want to keep searching?
Can you do another 30 minutes?
Okay, another 30 minutes. That sounds like a plan. So, and with that, you'll need to rest for 10, so I'm just going to take it off of this. So you manage to do that. You find 40 gold pieces. Someone dropped like a little sack and you like pick it up, and then you've got 40 gold that was in that sack.
Oh, I might offer this. There are intelligent creatures down here, even if they are kobolds. You might be able to follow their tracks and their, giant carts of money out of the lair here to track them deeper into the complex and maybe barter with them for directions or otherwise, make use of the fact that they can speak.
Yeah,
Uh,
kobolds and trolls shouldn't be too hard to track.
wait a second. Ryan,
Mm-hmm.
trolls. They're very large, right?
They're big. They're about 9-10 feet tall.
Have we found any indication of any place they could have come from in here?
Yeah. Theoretically, they could have
But
walked down the paths.
besides from 2 or 3.
I will say this: they're really tall, but they're extremely skinny.
They're like
Ah.
wiry.
They're like their whole thing is that they have a super fast metabolism, and so that's why they regenerate. But it's also why they're constantly ravenous and hungry.
Ah.
And so they're super skinny, but they are tall.
Uh, I'm always just used to, Skyrim trolls, which are...
Yeah, these aren't like Lord of the Rings trolls. I forgot there is like a fantasy series that they base them on, but I forgot what it's called. That they've based like D&D trolls on.
So, can we search this place for a way down? Like this massive cave?
Yeah, if there's like a whole loot train of like lots of dudes hauling all this crap off, we should be able to track it through the smashed floral forest and whatnot, I would think.
You can. I'm talking if you guys want to try to take a shot at it, you can. If you want to try to track them. You don't have the best of tracking abilities and you're in the dark, but it's possible.
I'm gonna go with it's got to be super obvious. They're a triumphant war party, hauling wounded possibly. And not too long ago, probably from the look of it, if there's still residual beholder magic hanging around. So I think it's worth a shot.
Yeah, and Arnie can see in the dark.
Let's do it.
Okay. So you will start trying to track those guys down. So I will say that like I said, the beholder corpse is not fresh, and neither are any of the corpses in there. So this could have happened a little while ago. But I'm not going to try to deter you. But I will say that it might not be easy, especially because you don't have a tracker.
Yeah, but so we're in a sealed environment. There's no wind. There's no rain. And they had to have hauled off like giant piles, and there have been a lot of them. So I think that given all those things, even an idiot like Vance, who never goes outside, can probably be like, "Oh, look, they cut themselves on these stupid flower rocks." That's what that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Okay, we can definitely.
I mean, we do have a bunch of dwarves who know rocks like the back of their hand. They could probably figure out which ones are broken from footpaths.
Mm-hmm. I'm not disagreeing.
Like
Okay.
it.
So
All
you
right.
want me to
Yeah,
check?
we're lobbying for a better die roll, is what we're trying to do here, Ryan.
Okay. So what I need is go ahead, Ogachiel. You seem to be leading the way. Go ahead and roll a d6 for me.
Oh,
That's either really good or really bad.
No, that's actually good on this. So you're able to follow pretty good.
Knowing is part of the fun.
I need you to roll. Let's see. I'll roll it here. Perfect.
Traveled this way, you can tell by the cut marks in this quartz. This isn't natural quartz cut marks.
This isn't quartz blood. This is other blood.
Okay.
That's not. Guys.
So
That's 5d20 times 100 gold we find, right?
yeah, that's,
How much-
that's totally it.
Damage do we take? How much damage are we taking from something?
Okay. I'm just trying to. I'm doing a little math here. I need everyone to roll a d6. You want what is it? You're looking for ones basically.
Is it everyone?
Yep.
Baby. Everyone. Oh, including all the doors? Do you want us to roll for the doors?
I do not.
Alright.
So you can roll for Grum and you can roll for Brith, but not the other 5.
Alright. This one is for Grum.
I'll do one for Brick.
Grum got close.
Oh, you got close.
No, we were going for ones.
Someone else do Briff.
Yeah, I think I'm the only. Horace is the only one that got a 1.
So look into the chat real quick. That thing.
Uh-huh.
Horace, you're the only
Oh!
you're the only one that notices. You actually like kind of just like are creaking your neck and you turn around. You see that your back 2 dwarves Alibert Mundemeyer and Tormy Pyrite Shard have been wrapped up in the tentacles of this thing, and they're like their mouths are frozen in like paralysis, and the thing is like gnawing on Tormy and floating up and away.
How big is it?
They're pretty big. I'm talking they're you know. I don't have a 5 foot across.
I'm gonna like let out a roar to the party. Just people are being taken. Take out my cross launcher and try to shoot at it. Actually, no, I'm just gonna try to chuck one of my cross launcher.
Okay.
I'm gonna take my cross launcher and try to shoot at it
Okay, go ahead.
with one of my silver balls.
Okay.
No threshold modifier.
You're within close range at this point. Okay. So, well, it takes full damage, which it took full damage anyway. So, yep, it takes 5. So you like shoot a thing, and it
So
it hits the thing. I'm gonna give it a saving.
silver does nothing to it, right?
Nothing in particular.
All right.
So it drops. Album. Alibi, what is it? Albert. Yeah, it's Albert. Albert. It drops him, but it's still munching on Tormy as it floats away.
No, Tormy.
The rest of us spring to action with the shouts of our comrade here.
It got a surprise round. The only person who wasn't surprised was Horace. So we can roll initiative, but it has moved 120 feet away in its round. And it's moving at a diagonal.
Dear Lord.
Yeah, they don't move slow. So it's flying, so it's going at a diagonal from you away. but it gets 10 attacks, and each attack causes paralysis. So,
Jesus.
yeah, Grells are mean.
What the hell is that thing?
It's a Grell. It's classic D&D monster.
I do not know what the hell
So,
that is.
what I'm gonna say is, Vance, go ahead and roll initiative. If you guys get initiative, you might be able to do something. If it gets initiative, it's probably gonna be too far away to do much. But we'll see.
Or
It's up to you to say Tormy.
Poor Tormy. So much pressure.
It's up to you.
Ah!
No! Yeah!
Yes.
Yay!
Magic missile.
Okay.
Suck
Are
it,
you,
Grell.
are you sure we could just freeze it in place?
There's a 100% chance magic missile works. There's always a chance of failure for every non-magic missile thing we can do. So if
Ah.
you can get him to drop Tormy, and Tormy also doesn't fall on the jagged death crystals, then we're in okay shape.
How high up in the air is that thing?
What is it right now? It's probably, because it's going at an angle, I'm gonna say it's probably 60 feet up.
Tormy's gonna die if he falls.
He's definitely going to die if he doesn't.
Albert takes 15 from the fall.
Oh.
Albert is dead. He's unconscious.
Oh, he fell on sharp rocks. I'm sorry. He takes one more.
He's -1.
All right, so he's dead.
And that was from half the height, huh?
Yeah.
We gotta try.
I'm talking.
I'm going for it.
He can roll ones if he drops them.
I'm going for it.
Right.
It is gone for.
Even if he dies, it's the thought that counts.
It's right. Suck it.
5 more.
Grell.
Let's see if the Grell can hold on to its food. The Grell does. It holds on to its food. So
No!
you hit it for 5 points of damage.
Shoot your shot at everyone else besides Vance.
Yeah, I'm gonna cross launcher it again
All right.
without the silver sling ball this time.
Yep. You're not in close range anymore.
Yeah, I can still do something.
Oh, actually, I don't think either one of you can shoot it now that I think about it. Yeah.
What do you mean?
You've only got light. Well, it's right at the edge of your vision. So, yeah. You've got 30 feet of light and 60 feet of dim. It's right in that dim. So, magic missile will hit because it auto hits, but I'm going to give it cover because it's in the darkness now, like it's in the vague darkness. So, I'm just going to add to its AC. So, go ahead and roll your attack.
Ah.
17. That will definitely hit. So, it takes 4 more.
Can I use my crossbow?
Yeah, go ahead.
Is it in close range or no?
No, it is not. It's
Oh,
not in
okay.
far range.
It's at 60 feet.
Yeah.
So, how much damage does it need to...
Damn it.
How much damage does it need to take before it has a chance of letting go again?
I've been doing it every time you guys hit. So,
Oh.
but that's just something I was doing to be nice. But it's
Ah.
moving. So that did not hit.
So what about the cross launcher shot that just hit?
Let me see.
Yeah.
Oh, he drops him.
And he dies. Nice.
We don't know. Oh,
And
yeah,
he dies.
like that.
Nice. And he dies. Nice.
He takes 27.
Yeah, he's dead. They only have 15 each.
I was hoping that maybe each of the shots would cause the Grell to careen closer to the
Yeah,
ground. Continue to
15.
be wounded.
They both have.
barely
They
is-
both had 15, and they both died.
So the Grell will continue to move off, and like it's pretty wounded. I'm talking. It doesn't look good, but it could probably come back later for its snack. They are like hyper intelligent.
Did anyone else have crossbows that they could have fired?
Arnie does, but he doesn't want to lose the invisible.
That's a good
Did
choice.
did Thondon have one?
No, I was had my axe.
Uh, uh, uh. Yeah, that's a shame. We couldn't say. Well, we couldn't kill it.
Or save our friends.
Yeah.
6 of one, half dozen of the other. So that's
Uh.
I'm sorry for your comrades. We all did the best that we could.
He looks at you and he's like, "This woman's worth it, right?"
Yeah.
To us,
To us.
is dispelling this evil from the halls of the Mithril City worth it?
Yes.
Then we go onward.
He's like, "We must
That's
retrieve my brother's bodies. They at least need to be
indeed.
Oh yeah, definitely.
interred somewhere."
That's what I was going to suggest.
Yeah.
Can we,
You guys can spend
if we,
20 minutes doing it and just going and grabbing them and just kind of like cracking some of these rocks and like just putting them on top of them like as like kind of like a rough cairn.
well, is that what they want to do? Or, I mean, is it better for dwarf religion to like inter them in the halls of their ancestors if we drag them back to 2 here and we can like get them on the way back home?
He
I'm not trying to make things harder,
he
but
basically says like they would want us to go on with the mission.
okay.
Uh.
He's like, we'll put them here. He's like, if we can retrieve them later on, we will come back.
Big pile of rocks with a cross on it then.
Yep.
Except the cross is a hammer.
All right, so it's 10 o'clock. Hope you guys enjoyed part of the Underdark.
This is fun. Nice time. Definitely would not like to come back.
It's very funny.
So the Underdark is supposed to be unusual. So I made it unusual. So yeah, I just I randomized pretty much all this. I made my own monsters list and everything, and yeah, that's what's happening.
Yeah, Ryan, when I saw that picture that you sent, I thought that little like speck of white was like a person compared to it, and I was about to shit myself. Like, what the hell is that?
What? Oh, the Grell?
Yeah.
He thought the signature was a person.
Yeah, I thought the signature was a person, and I was about to shit myself thinking we were about to fight something that massive.
Oh, okay. Well, here is a good. There, you can see a person in the Grell's arms.
There you go.
That's how big a
Oh.
Grell is.
I did not know what a Grell was. This is a new one for me.
Yeah.
Grells
And neither did I.
Grells are
They-
old 1E monsters. I think they brought them back in 5E. But
They
yeah,
did.
they're. I'm glad the Grell did the same thing. Like, I remember we played one night and we decided, this is when 30 had come out. We decided to play an old 2E thing. We're like, let's play, an old adventure. Let's play 2E. And maybe it was on Memorial Day or something like that. It was some holiday, maybe July 4th. And we got together and we decided to play all day. We're just going to make characters and we're going to play all day. It's going to be a dungeon crawl. And yeah, we just had a Grell that came down, grabbed one of our party, and then just floated off. And like, we couldn't stop it. And like, it was the first time I was like, well, the monster won. It did what it's supposed to do. It just like grabbed the dude, took Derek's character away and ate him. Like, okay.
The end.
It's just a brain with tentacles.
Yeah.
Aren't we all?
And a beak.
How has this thing survived through like? How is this what evolution chose?
It's not. It's called an abomination. Like, that's why they're called abominations. It's like a beholder. How did a beholder evolve? It didn't.
It was spat fully forth from the horrors of beyond time and space.
Pretty
I
much.
really wish we could have killed that thing.
Only the Grail says, "Caw-caw!" While it devours your brain with its beak.
I think
Oh,
it just
I'm
gives
sorry.
an unholy streak.
The Grell is
Yeah.
copyright protected by Wizards of the Coast. We are using the old school essentials Krell,
Ah.
which is a hovering brain that's 5 feet across that has a beak and a cluster of 10 spines. With
Grail.
So this is not a Grell, it's a Krell. So, all right, gents. For braving the Underdark, we're gonna go ahead and give you 500 XP for the night. So that'll be something.
Okay.
Woohoo!
Well,
500 XP is definitely worth 2 lives.
Yeah, that's what you were concerned about.
Something about darkness imprisoning me. All that I see
Ah,
springs to mind.
I just
Listen.
need like 10,000 more XP.
You're getting there, man. This time, November, you're gonna be hitting that level.
Remember, it's your XP on you guys goes like this: 250, 500, 250, 500, 6,000. You know,
Right.
You find a treasure hoard, and you kill a big monster, like, and then it becomes a lot.
Really, we haven't had a real deep dungeon crawl actual mission since we leveled up last time. Like, our first foray is what got us here because we botched it so badly. So,
Yeah.
So this is your punishment for letting NPCs die. You have to go over the
more
Underdark.
dead NPCs.
You get ones of
They
lesser
bet- I'm just-
significance.
I'm just saying that these dwarf uber clerics better be stocking up 5-10 of these true resurrections because we're going to be bringing back piles.
Yeah, wait a second. Couldn't they just resurrect these guys? Or is that like something they're not supposed to do?
I imagine it's more involved than just like poofing them back to life.
You never know. You'd have to get them back
Dudes.
there. But, all right. I will. We're gonna call it there tonight, and I will talk to you all next week. All right.
Thank you, Ryan. Thanks, everybody.
See ya.
Yeah. Have fun, and whatever you do, don't die.
That's
Right on.
good advice. Later on, y'all.
Bye.